Yes, YouTube, welcome back to another video and thanks for joining me. So I've finished working from home for the day, so I thought what better chance to spend a bit, well, feels like a bit of time with you, do a Q&A video. Thought we haven't done one in a while and it's just a good opportunity for me. It feels like we're sort of interacting rather than me just sitting here making a YouTube video, which is completely on my own. So if that's something that interests you and you want to find a little bit more about me, what's in this room, animals, hints, tips, is all going to come up, so make sure you stay tuned and it's coming up right after this. Okay, so welcome back. So like I said, in today's video we're going to be doing a Q&A video. I asked my subscribers on YouTube on one of my posts the other day just to leave me some questions, anything you want to know, anything you want to ask. So we're going to go ahead and cover off those questions today. But I just wanted to catch up. It's been a busy time on this channel at the moment. We've obviously been really busy with birds build, as well as planning some other projects that are coming up, and I'll give you some updates on some of those a bit later. But I do have an update on Birds Tank. I ordered the plants today, so I went through a list with my local reptile shop today, which is quite extensive. I'm going to put the order in. I should get it a week tomorrow, so probably ready for not this Sunday's video, for the next Sunday. So I'm hoping that that'll be done and you can check that out. I know a lot of you are looking forward to that. But I've got some deliveries, some new enclosures, new animals I've been looking into, and I'll go through that a little bit later. So why don't you crack on with your questions before we start? Now first I want to say a massive thanks to everybody who sent in questions. I know a lot of you are regular commenters and likers and just generally support the channel, and every single one of you, that means a massive amount to me. Any support you show is massively appreciated. On that note, go and check out my merch store. I don't promote there enough. There's some channel merch, and obviously I do aquascaping t-shirts, reptiles, amphibians, tropical fish. No matter what you're into in those aspects, there's probably something for you. So go and check it out. I'll leave a link down in the description. It's JRRTs, and that's the store. So John's Rainforest Ruins t-shirts. And go and check it out. Any money that you put towards any of this, you get yourself obviously a nice t-shirt, and you're supporting the channel, which is massively appreciated. Whew, that was a lot of waffle. Let's get on with the questions. So, if I was one of my animals and I had to live in one of the enclosures in this room, what would it be? So that's quite a good question actually. I think it would probably be the five-bellied toads planetarium. Now the reason I say that is I know that when I go on holiday, everybody says I'm a water baby. I can't stay out of the sea or out of the pool, so having a water feature, would love that. Obviously it's one of my favourite enclosures. Spending more time with the five-bellies, why not? So what was my first pet? So my first pet was probably not a reptile or fish actually. It was probably like a hamster or a guinea pig, something like that. But the first pet reptile I had, I actually wanted snakes for my 8th or 9th birthday. And I remember coming home from school and my dad, I seen a tank at the top of the freezer. My dad's a guy ball python, which is what I wanted, and we called him Monty. Everybody called their snakes Monty back then. And I also had a Californian king snake that come with it, because the person he bought her off was trying to get rid of 2 snakes at the same time. So I'd consider Monty my first ball python as my first reptile, I suppose. In terms of fish, I did have a lot of goldfish over the years. We did have piranhas at one point as well. So yeah, but fluffy pets were probably the more first pet, I would have said. So, if I could keep one species and one species only, what would it be? I doubt this is going to be a surprise to most of you. It'd probably be the five-bellies. And I think the reason why, I think obviously I like fish, reptiles, and I like to merge them together. I think the frogs are best of both worlds. They're really entertaining to watch. You can create a really nice setup for them. Yeah, they're probably like a mixture between a fish tank and a reptile tank. There's always a lot going on, and you guys know I love feeding them. On a side note, go and check out the feeding video. I did a hand feeding the five-bellies video for the second short featured video I do on this channel. I really liked it. I enjoyed making it. I hope you guys like these sort of videos and extra little bits, but obviously let me know in the comments section below. Okay, so I'm going to read this question just because it's quite a lot. So since this, right, start again, put my teeth back in. Since the aesthetics of your tanks are so on point, thanks, is the rest of your house decorated nicely, or is DIY not your thing? Ooh. Obviously my aim with this room is to get it looking as nice as I possibly can. Now I think historically, aquariums have always been something that people will feature in their house and can make a nice feature of, especially with modern design these days. You see a lot of nice versions of people putting these sort of things in their house now. I wouldn't say it's a long-term goal, but something I'd like to try and achieve is for people to equally feel like they could put reptiles, amphibians, paludariums in the living rooms, in their houses as a feature, not just fish tanks. So I do like to try and make this room as nice as possible, and it's still not the way I want. It's still a little bit messy. There's still things I need to do, but the aim is I want this to be a room where when you say you own reptiles and fish, people don't picture this, I don't think. I think they probably picture a smelly room, just boxes of animals stacked on top of each other. And I, to a degree, whether I've thought about it or not, I want to try and dispel that a little bit. But is my house, the rest of my house like this? Historically, probably. But at the moment, since we moved in, we've moved into this house about 2 years ago. We did have a lot going on at the time. I knew as soon as we moved in, we had to head out to Florida for a wedding. We were saving for our own wedding. We've been planning that amongst all the chaos. Getting this room done, working a full-time job. Obviously, I've got my own online businesses I run outside of work and in my free time, as well as maintaining this channel. So we haven't had a chance to decorate at the moment. So at the moment, I'd say the house isn't perhaps as on par with this, even though I wouldn't say this is the cornerstone at the moment. But that's the idea. We will get there eventually. We are ordering some paint and looking to decorate the house and catch up on things now we're in lockdown. So why don't we revisit that in a couple of months and I'll show you for yourself. But I like that question, thanks. Okay, so how do I find balance in YouTube and my private personal life? I suppose I've developed that over the years. I think when I first initially started, I'd probably release a video a month, maybe, if that. So it's quite easy initially, and obviously I was just getting into it, and obviously I've got a fiance who's really supportive, but obviously we've had to learn this lifestyle together as we've gone through, and she's really supportive, so that's quite easy in that sense. If you've got people backing you, that's probably the most important thing, and I'm eternally grateful for my friends and family who do support me as much as I do you guys. But it can be difficult. I do put aside a Tuesday and Thursday evening after I finish work, and I spend maybe from anywhere between 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and I'll solidly work on whether that be my websites, products, making videos, filming, looking after the animals, keeping in touch with you guys. So I do try and separate it and pencil in things so we can plan private life around it. That's probably a really long-winded answer, but it is a difficult topic. And plus, on that note as well, I do get a lot of people emailing me, messaging me, commenting, saying, how can I get my wife? How can I get my girlfriend? How can I get my mum to let me have this and the other? And I think my answer to that always is run it by them, talk it through with them, show them. Don't sneak it in, you'll never enjoy it. If I snuck a tank in here, I'd never enjoy it. I would always worry about it, I'd always want to hide it, and I'd never get full enjoyment out of it. And it's really important that the people behind you are behind you. Because there is a lot to ask of somebody. I've taken a room of my house, you know, for animals and fish. Nobody gets that. I do, that seems normal. Why wouldn't you do it? Why only one room? But I suppose the message is, make sure that your family and friends are behind you, they're on board, and you're upfront and honest with them, because at the end of the day, they are the most important thing. They'll still be here if all this disappears, well, hopefully, and that it should be your main priority. Okay, so can we expect any more fish tanks? Yes, you can, and not just one. So I'll go into it now. I've just had you, if you follow me on, if you subscribe already, if you're not, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. Then you would have seen that I placed orders recently for a new aquarium as well as a new vivarium as well. So I've got a new ADA 30C, so 30 centimeter cube tank come in. We've ordered the new filter, so we had the 100 Awase 100 Thermo. I also ordered the ADA Aquasky G301 light as well, which expensive light, but I wanted it. I had to have it. So on its way, well, I say on its way, it literally just turned up. So I'm going to be putting that next to, so Bert is going to go in the corner here, and then I'm going to have the 30C right next to it. And I'm going to house Steve, my beta fish, in that, so we're going to upgrade him. But then we're going to be looking at getting shelves, and I've probably banged on about this enough again, getting wooden shelving put in the alcove where the nano rack currently is. And then I'm going to be having 4 ADA 60Ps, so 60, I think it's 60 centimetre by 30 by 30. Yeah, probably about 60 litres, I would have thought. I'm going to have 4 of those, and we're going to explore different areas of nano tanks, nano fish, nano shrimp, scapes, you name it, we're going to try it all. And I'm also going to upgrade the 20 gallon, which I've got my Harlequin Raspora, Galaxy Raspora, and the cherry shrimp in there at the moment. So I'm going to upgrade that to a nicer tank. I don't know whether it's going to be bigger or slightly different dimensions, but I want to get an opti-white tank, set it up, a fresh new aquascape, try and sort out the mess of moss, as well as obviously all the shrimp we have in there. So there's going to be loads of aquascaping to come. Obviously, whether it'll stop there, who knows. But yeah, plenty more to come. So, have I been to the States? Yes. I think the first time was about 11. I went to New York. I think then we moved on to Washington and went on to Philadelphia. Then I hadn't been since then, but last year we went for a wedding, like I said, to Florida. I was best man for my best friend's wedding, which was an amazing occasion. It was really nice to spend that time there with him as well. And I haven't been back since, but it was an amazing experience. Loved the States. Obviously the people are really friendly. It was great to spend some time in Florida as well, seeing Cuban nightingales out in the wild before I actually got Castro, so it was a great experience. Loads of reptiles and especially anole lizards everywhere, so it was a really good experience. Love the States, love to go back. If anybody wants to invite me over for a tour or something, then, you know, drop me a line. So what is my dream snake? I think my dream snake's always been green tree python, as a lot of you'll know. Also, we used to have a green tree python on this channel. Unfortunately, regurgitated his food, had some stress, and unfortunately passed away, which is like a freak accident, I suppose. And I'm still planning on getting another one. So a lot of you I probably would have talked to about this, whether that be comments on the videos. But yeah, I think green tree python is probably the ultimate snake. Even though I've had one before, you tend to go for animals you haven't had before. But a green tree python probably would be, just from the days I suppose when I was a kid. Loved Jungle Book. Even though the snake in Jungle Book's probably a reticulated python, it's green. It hangs from a tree. It's a green tree python. So that's probably always stuck in my mind, and I've always loved how amazingly beautiful they are. Green's obviously my favourite colour as well, and they're such a distinctive animal. I think maybe red-eyed tree frogs can compete with them, but there's not many that you can look at, and I think even people who know nothing about animals would be blown away by them. But if you're talking about things I haven't had and things that are more difficult to get, or, you know, like a real dream, it would probably be a dragon snake. The scientific name eludes me, but they're from Thailand, Malaysia. They're really like quirky snakes. They're not really in the hobby that much at the moment. I don't think they've had much success breeding them or keeping them alive in captivity. I'll check some pictures up so you can see anywhere what I'm talking about. But they've got like dragon scales all down them, a bit like a lizard's back, like, you know, like that bumpy crocodile sort of look. They're really nice sort of smoky grey colour, but they completely freeze when you go near them. They're a bit of a strange snake, and they're nothing like any other snake I've seen. So they've always really fascinated me, always really loved them. But obviously perhaps not for quite now. I'd imagine they're pretty expensive and pretty hard to come by. Dream amphibian. There's loads of amphibians I like, and they really suit the setups I like to make as well. Even just simple things like I love dumpy tree frogs. Amazing. Loads of people have them. Look, you see them really commonly available. Not particularly exciting to a degree, but I love them. I love dart frogs. Love loads of different newts, salamanders, anything that really likes water as well. But I don't really have a dream one. I did used to keep red-eyed tree frogs, but I think firebelly's my favourite amphibians. They're my dream. So if money wasn't an option, what would my dream aquarium be? Oh, there's so many. But I think to make this probably a bit more straightforward, I love the rainforest, love river systems, so it'd probably be an Amazon tank. Not necessarily a massive fan of black water or biotopes, and let's be fair, if you could say biotope and you've got a twig that's from somewhere else, people are gonna kick off. But it'd probably be something along the lines of like a clouded archerfish tank would be amazing. You know, a good 10, 12-foot tank. You know, really nice root systems. Looks like it's, you know, you're in a riverbank, and even having some sort of terrestrial space as well where you can release insects and watch them shoot them off. That'd be amazing. Piranhas, I know a lot of people find piranhas boring. Well, a lot of people find them exciting until they get them and then they find they're boring. But I love them. I think, you know, they're that stereotypical jungle fish that you probably think of. But also like clown knife fish as well. I know I've mentioned that in the past. But you know me, I love my nano fish. I would love, like, if, you know, endless possibilities. It'd be great. You know, when you go to an aquarium and you see that massive, you know, the biggest tank they've got full of reefs and coral and inserts, and then they've got all the fish and some like sharks and whales swimming around. That would be amazing, but that I would love to see that on a tropical scale. So, you know, a huge room essentially, that's just filled with like a riverscape and tropical fish. That'd be amazing. Okay, so I've got 3 final questions from Spirit. Spirit, I just want to give a special shout out to because he's kind enough to make me the intro / outro to this channel. Massive thanks once again, Spirit, and really appreciate your support. Okay, so he wants to know, do I play video games? Simple answer, no. I used to when I was a kid, but these days I'm so busy. If I'm not working full time, then I'm coming home and doing my own little businesses, working on YouTube videos, looking after the animals, planning new builds. And I try and, not that, you know, nothing wrong with people who play video games, but I try to keep as much of my time as constructive as possible. And that seems like a lot of work and no play, but all the things that I do I'm massively passionate about. I love design, I love obviously animals, fish, reptiles. I love this channel, I love interacting with you guys. So it's not a chore, it's something I actually look forward to coming home and doing. Yeah, it can be tiresome and you don't feel like after a full day's work at times, but I'd rather be doing this than overtime. Okay, favourite movies. Well, there can only be one choice. Well, or 5. I'm a massive fan of the Jurassic Park movies and the Jurassic World movies, and I always have been ever since I was a kid. I always remember my mum coming home when I was about, what was that, back in '93, the first Jurassic Park, so that would have made me 7. Oh, that's depressing. I always remember coming home and saying there was a dinosaur film coming out, and I literally lost my mind. I think that's what probably got me into reptiles, was probably the love of dinosaurs and the passion for that sort of thing. I still love it to this day, still get excited when Jurassic Park movies or Jurassic World movies come out, even though this one's been delayed. So yeah, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, love them. Favourite TV? Now I do like a lot of like comedy sort of thing, I suppose. Like TV shows, I love the British Office. Not that I don't like the American one, but let's be fair, we were there first. Love Ricky Gervais, anything that he does really. I love documentaries, some nature documentaries especially. But I don't watch too much TV to be fair, mainly movies and things when I get time. But like I said, I try and keep myself occupied and doing something constructive really. So music, love music, spend a lot of time listening to music, and I know you've probably seen on some of the t-shirts, I'm a massive rock music fan. I love a little bit of metal as well, but I do like a lot of different music. You know, I'm not stuck to one thing, but rock and metal would probably be one of the main types of music I listen to. I love Bring Me the Horizon, Killswitch Engage, one of my favourite heavier bands, but then I love stuff like Muse, or not as heavy, Royal Blood. Yeah, so lots of rock, open to lots of things. If you've got any suggestions, things I should be listening to, let me know. But that's the end of the questions for this Q&A video. It has flown by. But I really enjoy doing these types of videos. Now, Lee from Lee Creatures Features did comment and say, why don't I just do a live stream video? I don't think we're quite at that stage where we can do a live stream yet. I can surely imagine me sat here for 2 hours talking to myself. So probably not yet. Maybe something we'll do when we hit the 5,000 subscribers mark. And I just want to say massive thanks actually on that point. We just hit 3.5 bang on subscribers, which I'm massively appreciative. And I'd love to obviously continue growing this channel. Obviously, thanks for all the support you've given, all the kind words of encouragement, comments, likes, sharing my videos. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot. So like I said, plenty of new things coming up. We've got a new scape to do for Steve the beta fish. That's going to be the ADA 30C with complete lighting, complete new filtration, planting, you name it. It's all going to be brand new minus Steve. Also got the vivarium coming as well, which is going to house a snake. Now if you want to pin any guesses what that's going to be on the bottom, all I'll say is listen to this video, watch it back. There's clues. And I'm going to say, you know, is it going to take me back to my childhood? Well, I'm sure you can guess it from that. So we're going to be doing a completely new vivarium build as well. We'll be obviously trying to do it bioactive, a similar background system and everything, but a completely different completely different dimensions that we've done before, and something different, I hope. But as always, I really appreciate any of your support. If you do a massive favour and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, if you're a regular viewer, I appreciate every single one of you. If you can drop me that thumbs up and leave me a comment to show YouTube you're enjoying this sort of content and allows me to make more videos like these. But I think that's enough of me waffling on for one day. We'll probably do something more animal related, enclosure updates and things like that in the next couple of videos. So make sure you stay tuned and I'll see you in the next one.